Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Let's invoke the blessing of the Lord before we read. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanishalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ishvara Parma Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakaran Karanam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, we have been reading from the book Trinadapi Sunichena, Lower Than the Straw on the Street by Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. So, let's continue. So, we are at the chapter The Source of Envy and Intolerance. Page number 119. Intolerance is at the heart of enviousness. Why are they fighting? What is the reason behind it? This is a question of intolerance, enviousness, matsarya. Intolerance is at the heart of enviousness. When another person is seen to be making some progress in their lives, becoming stronger and more powerful, more opulent, one begins to think, I am not as rich as or powerful as that person. As a consequence, he becomes intolerant and envious and wonders, how can I beat that person? How can I become more powerful than him? This is the mentality that develops. This is the reason. One who becomes increasingly powerful or more opulent predominates over others, and other group or other person become intolerant and envious of him. This is explained in these verses. The demigods had the nectar, thus they became more opulent, and by drinking nectar, they would become deathless. Nectar, Amrita, means no death. The demons thought, now we will die. We cannot become immortal, and we cannot become as opulent as demigods. As a result, they became intolerant and began fighting with the devas. Sometimes it takes place that demigods are victorious, other times demons are victorious. So, dear devotees, as you can say, two things is we have to remain tolerant, just like summer and winter, right? We have to tolerate. Similarly, adverse situations we need to tolerate. And then another learning is he's saying sometimes demigods are victorious, sometimes demons are victorious. So we can also see in our society many times good people are prevailing, all good things are happening, and sometimes many bad things are happening, right? So it is according to that. Sometimes demigods are victorious, sometimes demons are victorious. Next, lording it over and enjoying. What is the background to the churning of the milk ocean? It has the same underlying cause. At that time, demons were stronger and more opulent. They had taken away the wealth and opulence of demigods. Therefore, demigods became moros. Here in this eighth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastime of Mohini Avatara is discussed, and then the Leela of Vamana Avatara will come. Bali was the king of the demons. Bali became very opulent and very powerful. He ruled over the demigods. The demigods were bereft of their opulence, and therefore mother of the demigods, Aditi, became very distressed. My sons have become bereft of their opulence. Thus, instructed by her husband Kashyapa, she made a vow, Vrata, whereby she pleased the Supreme Lord Narayana, Vishnu. Lord Narayana had already agreed to descend as their son, Prashni Garbha, and now he was to appear as Aditi and Kashyapa's son, Upendra, Vamandeva. Vamandeva would beg 3 footsteps with his tiny feet from Bali. With 2 paces, he takes away all of Bali's opulence, all of his wealth and property, everything. Then, with third pace, he pushes Bali down to Sutala and he gives everything to sons of Aditi, the demigods. That Leela is narrated later. Shukracharya knows this, and when Bali was prepared to give dana, charity, that Vamandeva was asking for, his guru said, no, do not give it, do not give it. He will take away everything from you. Do not think that he is just a tiny dwarf. He is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. He has come in a disguised form of a Vatu, a brahmachari. He will take everything from you. On the instruction of the Supreme Lord, the demigods went to Bali and made a truce. Quote, let there be a truce. Let us churn the milk ocean together. The nectar will come and we will share it. Taking this nectar, we will become deathless and receive all opulence. The demons also became very pleased. Quote, all right, very nice. Let us work together to churn the milk ocean and share the nectar. Demigods went with this purpose. They churned the milk ocean together, but the demons are not able to obtain the nectar because they are Narayana Paranmukha. इति दान्वा दैत्य न विन्दन् अमृतं नृपः युक्तकर्माणि यतश्च वासुदेव परान्मुखः. Sukadev Goswami said, O king, the demons and daityas all engage with full attention and effort in churning the ocean. But because they were not devotees of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, they were not able to drink the nectar. Mohini Murti came and cheated the demons, and she disturbed the nectar. She distributed the nectar in such a way that demons could not take any. Still, one demon named Rahu, disguised as demigod, tasted the nectar. His head was cut off, and this caused enmity between devas and asuras. Again, it has same underlying cause of lording it over and desire for enjoyment. We will enjoy more and more. We will enjoy all of it and not allow anyone else to take a share. This mentality of enjoying is the only reason that there is enmity, fighting, duality, quarreling, enviousness, and intolerance. Then the demons become intolerant. Quote, oh, the demigods have the nectar. They will become more prosperous and more powerful than us. Therefore, they become intolerant, and there was fighting and a big battle ensued between them. So, dear devotees, this is another thing. These three things keep us in this material world: Kamini, Kanchan, and Kirti. And then the whole world is behind this thing, right? And there is an illusion, actually, for these on these three things: Kamini, Kanchan, and Kirti. There is an illusion. We think that there is a big enjoyment in that, and we think that when these three things are we achieve, we will be extremely happy, isn't it? So, like we look for more money and we target, okay, once we achieve this, then we'll be more enjoyment. Then we achieve that, still we are dissatisfied. Then we say, no, now we have more, then we'll be more enjoyment, isn't it? And then similarly, beautiful man or beautiful woman, right? We look for, oh, if we achieve this, we'll be more happy. And but again, we get dissatisfied. And then even if everybody has this, but they again look for kirti, name and fame. And we say, oh, when I become popular, then I will be more happy. But still not, isn't it? That's why all the film stars, right, till the 80, they keep working. Why? They have everything, isn't it? They achieve whatever they want to achieve. But still they're going. Why? Kirti, name and fame. And Kamani and Kanchan, 1 in 100,000 a person can renounce. But Kirti is very difficult to renounce. Even in big sadhus, this is there, the desire for name and fame. So this propensity to enjoy on wrong objects, right, causes enviousness further. Next, Krishna consciousness is the only solution. Srila Prabhupada has stated, the fighting between demons and demigods is perpetual. It cannot be stopped unless intelligent persons from both the sides take to Krishna consciousness. Only Krishna consciousness can tame the fighting spirit and envy, which arises in the heart. This is the only solution. If people are taught the science of Krishna consciousness properly, they can understand what their real constitutional position is, what their true identity is. Jivere Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das. Who am I? What is my real identification? I am Krishna Das. Krishna is my eternal master. I am his eternal servant. This is our eternal relationship. Therefore, what is our duty? As servants, our duty is to serve the master and please him, give him pleasure, give him happiness, give him all enjoyment. Because he is the only enjoyer. Krishna has said in this in Bhagavad Gita, Aham hi sarva yagnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha upadrekshanti anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha. Krishna says, I am the sanctioning authority. I am the maintainer. I am enjoyer. Repeatedly, Krishna has said, I am the enjoyer. The Jiva cannot be the enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer. Everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to Jivas. So, dear devotees, Krishna is the enjoyer. We are actually to be enjoyed. There is only one Purusha. Rest everything is Prakriti actually. And we are also Prakriti. And that's the reason when we do any service, when Krishna is happy, automatically you become happy. And only in Krishna conscious activity we become happy. Other activities, temporary, we may become happy. Again, we get dissatisfied. That's why, so after doing so many things, nobody can say, oh, now I'm tripped. I'm completely satisfied. No. But only in Krishna conscious person, right? When we chant or do service, right? So much happiness we feel in our heart, isn't it? Like people are chanting for 40 years. I mean, there should be some bliss. Uh, People must be feeling like Sham Sundar Prabhu, right? He's chanting from how long? Like close to 40 years. So some bliss he must be feeling. Otherwise, why a person will chant, right? So we'll stop here. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki jai. So now, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita from a chapter, Let There Be a Temple. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj ki jai. San Francisco, July 7th. Thousands followed the three carts for several miles through the Golden Gate Park. Srila Prabhupada, riding on the second cart, beneath the deity of Subhadra, wore the same golden wool cap he had worn in Australia, a white bulky knit sweater, and a garland of red roses. Despite his recent extensive traveling, he was alert and well. He looked out at the sea of devotees and parade followers and took great satisfaction in the transcendental scene. In his speech before a crowd of 10,000, Prabhupada said that the American should lead the world in propagating Krishna consciousness. I know that all American ladies and gentlemen here are educated and intelligent, he said. I am very much obliged to the Americans who have helped me make this movement popular all over the world. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first introduced the Hare Krishna movement, he said, Bharat Bhumite Haila Manushya Janma Yara Janam Sarthak Kari Kara Upkara. He thus expressed his desire by saying that anyone who has taken birth as a human being in the Bharatvarsha or India should understand the Krishna consciousness movement and spread it all over the world for the benefit of all humanity. He also predicted that in all the villages and towns of the entire world, the Krishna consciousness movement will be known. So, with the cooperation of you young Americans who are kindly helping to spread this movement, it is now factually becoming well known all over the world. I recently went to Melbourne, Australia, where we held a similar festival in which many thousands of people joined and chanted and danced with us. Then I went to Chicago, where we held the same ceremony. Now, this morning I have come here, and I'm so glad to see that you are also joining this movement. Prabhupada's fingers tapped lightly against his kartalas as he spoke, his eyes half closed. He chose his words with confidence, and those words echoed across the meadow. Prabhupada requested his audience not to think that Krishna consciousness was sectarian. It was meant for everyone. because the real nature of the self was spiritual. Chanting the holy name and dancing, he said, were not ordinary. It is open to everyone who will simply chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You are generally young, whereas I am an old man who may die at any moment. Therefore, I request you to take this moment seriously. Understand it yourselves and then preach it throughout your country. People outside America generally follow and imitate what America does. I'm traveling all over the world, and everywhere I see other countries building skyscrapers and in other ways imitating your country. Therefore, if you kindly become Krishna conscious and chant and dance in ecstasy, in emotional love of God, the entire world will follow you. Thus, the entire world can become Vakunta, a spiritual world in which there will be no more trouble. Thank you very much. Next section. Gurudas had sent a letter to all ISKCON centers inviting devotees to attend the opening of Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavana. He had invited life members from Bombay and Calcutta and had reserved cars for them on the trains. So, dear devotees, if you see, Prabhupada has started this movement in America, and after that, it start spreading all over the world, right? So, actually, in one way, America got purified. It's like Dhamma because pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada stayed here, isn't it? So all the ISKCON temples, they are actually not less than a Dham. And many of the deities Srila Prabhupada himself installed. So even if we are not able to go to India sometime, then at least we should visit other cities ISKCON temple, right? As part of our Dham Yatra. I remember a devotee, he used to take some vacation intermittently. And what he does is he just go over to other cities ISKCON temple, stayed there 1 or 2 days, have darshan, have prasadam there, do parikrama, do some service, and then keep going. And after returning, he used to tell me. And I say, okay, how was your vacation? Where did you go? And then what he said, he used to go different ISKCON temple of different cities. And he was so blissful. He was so happy. So we also have opportunity, even if we cannot go out of country, but as within the country, there's so many dhamas. So Gurudas had sent a letter to all ISKCON centers inviting devotees to attend the opening of Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan. He had invited life members from Bombay and Calcutta and had reserved cars for them on the trains. Prabhupada also was inviting his disciples to come to Vrindavan for Janmashtami. Lecturing before hundreds of devotees in Los Angeles, he said, quote, I invite all of you to come to Vrindavana to the opening of Krishna Balaram Mandir. Prabhupada had also mailed invitations to his god brothers, and when one of them, Sridhara Maharaj of Navadipa, accepted the invitation, Srila Prabhupada replied, assuring him of comfortable accommodations and suggesting the easiest way to travel from Calcutta to Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada also told Sridhar Maharaj of his preaching. Quote, quote, you will be glad to know that our books are selling very nicely. Last year we sold about 4 million books, and this year, within 6 months, we have completed last year's quota, and therefore we can reasonably expect to double the sale of last year. The only difficulty is that we are expanded worldwide organization and it requires very acute management to keep up the status quo. So by Krishna's grace, everything is going on nicely. Regarding preaching tour, it has become a little difficult for me because I have got the same heart trouble as you have, and still am moving just to encourage these young boys and girls who are working on my behalf. On July 15th, only 10 days before Prabhupada's proposed arrival in Vrindavan, he wrote almost identical letters to his sannyasi disciples. In just 1 minute. On July 15th, only 10 days before Prabhupada's proposed arrival in Vrindavan, he wrote almost identical letters to his sannyasi disciples, inviting them to come and resolve the many personal matters and items of business that had been pending during his busy tour. Quote, I cordially invited you to attend our opening ceremony in Vrindavana because all of our sannyasis will be present there. You also come there as a regular sannyasi and take part. That is my desire. When Karandhara, the new appointed GBC for India, began to express doubts that everything would be ready on time, Prabhupada replied from Los Angeles, quote, the festival must be gorgeously done. It should not be poor. If there is a scarcity of money, it will be supplied. There must be full prasadam for all guests. You plan for that, and I will supply the funds. Complete prasad distribution must go on. Regarding the temple not being finished on time, that is your responsibility. What can I do? Although Prabhupada had responded to Karandhara forcefully, the note of uncertainty from his head manager in India disturbed him. He wrote to Surabhi, who was in charge of the Vrindavana construction. I am a little agitated in mind because Karandhara's letters says that there may be some work to be done during the time of our festival. While in Los Angeles, Prabhupada also received a word that the London Rath Yatra, scheduled for later that month, had been cancelled by local authorities. The previous year's parade, officials said, had seriously interfered with the traffic. Prabhupada insisted that devotees protest this unreasonable ruling. It is religious discrimination, he said, and he advised that sympathetic Indians in London approach the ambassador and request him to present the matter before the Queen. The recent statements of the Reverend Powell of Melbourne could be used to demonstrate that Christians should not be alarmed by the Krishna consciousness movement. Quote, the police objection means that the whole religious ceremony should be stopped. Prabhupada challenged, what is this? Simply for some technical mistake, now they will stop our whole religious ceremony? Prabhupada said that if the city continued to prohibit the parade, the devotees should erect a stationary cart in Hyde Park and hold a festival there without a procession. After holding our ceremony, said Prabhupada, quote, we shall take the deity in a palanquin and go to Trafalgar Square. The Rath will stay, it will not move. But we should take the deities on palanquin and go on Trafalgar Square. In this way, take police permission, and after going there, along with the ceremony protest. They cannot object, but Ratha must be seen, and people must know that the rascal police government has stopped it. So, so dear devotees, we stop here, and then tomorrow we'll read from this book from page number 280. Let there be a temple. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj ki jai. So, anybody has any question, correction, realization, chastisement? We'll give 30 seconds and then we'll close and then continue chanting. All right. So, if there is no question, let's wrap up. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayavcha पतितनाम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णविन की जय. So thank you so much, dear devotees, for listening to me, and please forgive me if I have not read the book properly. So now